Welcome back, friends, to Live at the Roxy. Today, the most highly requested guest we have had from the beginning of this show. I said this in my tweet, not that you had to twist my arm because she's one of my favorite human beings. She was just schooling me on Twitch, and I'm sure we'll get more of that today because she is rocking it over there. It is Emma Fyffe, somebody I haven't seen in so long.
I know. It's so good to see you, Roxy.
It's so weird. I feel like without trying, I have seen you every week for the last 7 years of my life.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's really weird to not see you.
We just always, I don't know, it just was always, well, we always hooked each other up, so we ended up working at the same places very often.
That's 100% correct.
But then also, I don't know, just we have a lot of mutual friends, like any birthday parties.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not even just work stuff. It's socializing outside of work. Like you say, we know all the same people. So birthday parties,
Halloween parties.
Yeah. Or even just like gatherings to go, events that we just both get invited to because we're sort of in the same sphere. So
they're the friends that you have to try really hard to see because they're just not in your life.
Right.
And then they're the friends that just like, I just never had to think about it. I just was always with you. And so it's been so weird because I don't know. I think me, you, and Cam got on a text thread a little bit ago. And it was like, maybe we should like virtual happy hour or something. It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's so strange. Yep.
So I'm really happy to have you here today. We have a ton to talk about. I know you guys. I know you have questions. I swear I won't take up all of Emma's time just catching up with questions of my own. A ton of Patreon questions came through. Streamlabs questions, super chat questions. Everybody wants to know how Emma's been doing because a lot of people were saying she hasn't been streaming. And I said, no,
that's
she's been
very incorrect.
nonstop, just not in the same platform. So before we get into it, Emma, you're on Twitch. Like when, where, how, who, what?
So I am on Twitch. I stream basically Mondays and Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, starting at noon Pacific time, and I'm usually live about noon to 3. I've gone as late as noon to 5 sometimes when we just get like really, really into what we're playing. But
noon to 5?
Yeah, I did a 5-hour stream one time. I was playing Fire Emblem. We got in really deep. I really wanted to finish the chapter we were on. So yeah, very ballsy. I didn't even really notice the time. I got really, really into it. So yeah, I've been streaming. I started off, I was streaming a combination of Fire Emblem, Three Houses for a little while, as well as Animal Crossing, which was really fun. We would have like Animal Crossing community days where people would come by and we'd visit each other's islands and share resources. Anybody that's played Animal Crossing knows what I'm talking about.
This is a really messed up question. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for it. I know because I've been seeing it and I know this is something I shouldn't ask out loud and I should just Google it, but you know, I can't help myself.
Yes.
What is Animal Crossing?
It's just a life simulator. You're basically a cute little chibi person who has a bunch of animal next door neighbors. And
on my phone. Like,
it's a Switch game.
Okay, so if I don't have Switch, so I can't play.
Yeah,
I've been seeing everybody post about it, and even who was it? Like Kendall Jenner and all these people are posting like these Animal Crossing things, and I was like, I googled, I tried to say like playing Animal Crossing. I was like, what's the website? This is how bad I am at this stuff. You know that. Yeah. Okay, so you've been doing that still.
But now I am actually playing the Final Fantasy VII remake on my PlayStation 4, which was like my most anticipated video game of ever, and it has been so much fun. But yeah, I've got a great little Twitch community over there, and we've got a Discord, and it's really been fun and amazing for me during this time, just because it's given me this sense of human interaction that is lacking in my life.
Super necessary.
Because again, it's like, and in Roxy, you're in the same boat as I am, where we're freelancers. And yes, we do work from home a lot. That's not that weird for us.
Right.
But I'm used to having somewhere that I need to go to film a show in the middle of the day. And
every single day.
Exactly. And so I just naturally encounter a bunch of people in doing that. Not even people I'm necessarily actively working with, just other producers, editors, et cetera, whatever, who are in the offices. And all of that is suddenly gone. So now you have to really make this effort to connect with other people that otherwise would just happen naturally.
But also, I'm kind of, and I know you are too,
Yeah.
I'm kind of busy. So it's weird because it's not like I have all this free time to just then connect with the people. You know, there's a lot of people who've been inviting me to that house party app. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where like friends game together on house party, or you do different things, whatever. And I'm like,
yes.
when? Like, if you guys want to do it at 2 a.m, I'm game. But like, that's when I stopped doing stuff.
No, totally. It was funny. I was having a conversation with my mom yesterday, and I've been very fortunate that within the next couple weeks, it looks like I'm going to have a couple of new regular gigs starting, which is crazy.
That is unbelievable.
You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
Like, my mom was saying she was so worried when all of this started going down, because she's like, oh my God, like Emma's a freelancer. And she works at a theme park, which, Universal is still paying us, which is nice.
I didn't know that. Wait, so what? The last we spoke, we were doing that.
Yeah.
Not the last we spoke, but the last we spoke.
It wasn't the last we spoke, but the last we saw each other in person.
Right.
And
we were doing a long day of SJU shoots. We were so slap happy by the end of that.
It was fun,
but I remember you were saying that Saturday was supposed to be the last day that you were getting paid for. So what ended up happening?
What ended up happening was that it was the last day I was getting paid for, because I knew that was when I was scheduled. So what ended up happening was, the next 2 weeks, they scheduled us as if we had to go into work, but we didn't have to go into work, and we just got paid. But now they're basically paying people like an average of what they made per week during the months of January and February, which like I only work at Universal a couple of days a week.
Right.
And in the beginning of the year, I really was only working maybe 1 day a week, but you know what? I'm getting paid for a day of work effectively at Universal.
Honestly, it's pretty great that they're doing that.
Yeah. It's just like, it's a little per diem that comes in every week. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of impressed with them because they don't have to. So
well, all of the Universal executives, so the presidents of or director of film and television, of Universal Pictures, of Parks and Resorts, all of them donated 100% of their salaries to COVID-19 relief this year. This
makes me love Universal even more.
And the company put $5 million into right off the bat into employee to continue to be able to pay their employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like I follow the trades and I read the news. I'm surprised I didn't know that.
Yeah, they sent us an email about it, like an internal communication email about it, which was really it was very, very heartening to hear.
So is that the same? Is it the same situation then for all of our friends there, like Mike Kalinowski, or is it
anybody who's an employee of Universal Parks and Resorts is getting paid? Now, granted, a lot of people are getting paid at a very reduced rate, especially because not at a reduced rate, but it's like less money than they should be making from Universal at this time of year, because we were coming up on spring break. So spring break is the time when people tend to pick up a lot of extra shifts, but I'm sure Mike Kalinowski is pretty high on the entertainment roster. He gets scheduled there pretty regularly. I'm guessing his pay was not affected all that much. So
wow, yeah. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
Isn't it great when people do the right thing?
Yes, it is. It's really nice when people do the right thing.
And it's so bizarre how shocked I am every time.
Yep.
Every time somebody makes the good choice, the right choice, I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Isn't that nuts?
I wonder, do you know if Disney's doing the same thing with their employees, or what's been happening?
I know that Disney through April 19th is at least doing the exact same thing as Universal.
Wow.
My understanding is after that they're reassessing, but I don't know. And I mean, I think we'll get reassessed after then as well. But I know that per our union contract, we can't be furloughed. So they would have to actually lay us off, which would be,
very challenging.
We'll see. We will see what happens. They'd be laying off a lot of people, and that would be a lot of rehiring when the park is able to reopen. But who knows how long that'll be, honestly.
Have you guys gotten any word about that?
As of right now, we are officially closed through the end of May. Okay. And we'll see after that. I mean, frankly, until there is a vaccine, the park will not be able to reopen at full capacity, is my opinion. And until
that would be almost a year, we think, probably.
And until there's some sort of instant testing, I don't know how likely it is that the park will be able to open even at reduced capacity. So, we'll just see what happens. Taking it day by day.
Wow. Yeah. I'm so pumped about that. Good news. Yeah. I love sharing good
totally.
news.
Yeah. So things are really good in that department right now. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with Universal.
I promised you guys I wouldn't take up all of her time with my own questions. So I do want to get to some super chats, some Patreons, some Streamlabs, and all that stuff. Starting with this very generous one from Larry Lease, just saying, "Hey Roxy, love you. Guys, hit that like button. When will you have?"
Oh my gosh! Did you see these tweets earlier, Roxy? Okay, so the Flirtenflause is it's Brett Sheridan. It's Brett Sheridan. Being a German
who calls him that?
Singer-songwriter. I don't know. I think it happened on SEN. I suddenly started getting tagged with this hashtag all over Twitter.
The Flirtenflause?
Yes, and thank you to Matt Link, who I think it was Matt Link. He actually clipped the moment and sent it to us, so I could see what the heck he was talking about.
I'll have to look. Yes. He does great impressions.
It is pretty funny, I have to say.
He is amazing. As Emma knows all too well, I have been incredibly awkward about asking people on this show. So Brett texted me.
Yes.
And Brett said to me, "When are you going to have me on the show?" So that was a great window in. That's what I need in order to ask people like a true crazy. I said I would love to have him, but because he has kids and his SEN schedule, we've been having a little bit of a difficulty scheduling it. So I think the week after next, hopefully he'll come on.
Nice.
So the Flirtenflause.
Yeah,
so weird.
Also,
Larry added, "Oh, and Emma, love your work on fandom."
Oh, thanks so much, Larry.
Especially that VO stuff you do for power levels.
Oh yeah, for
Emma.
power levels. I know it's really good, isn't it?
pretty phenomenal. That's the way that that you and I that we're starting to blend together in people's minds. I would say it's because we're both blonde, but that's just a voiceover thing. So I really don't know. I don't know how that worked. Going over to the Patreon, questions for Emma coming in from my $10 and up patrons. Thank you guys for asking these. LK says, "It is so great to have Emma guest on the show. For a Schmodown related question, what do you think about the Elba Alba controversy?" And so that's the first part of this. What do you think? You know what it is with the Elba Alba?
I have to be honest with you. I don't. I have not been at all the Schmodown tapings lately. I don't really keep up with the Schmodown.
The answer to the question was Idris Elba.
Right.
Mark Andreyko wrote Idris Elba. And
he said Elba.
And Ben. So people say that he said Alba. When I listen, it sounds to me like he's saying Elba.
Okay.
Which is kind of in, but like a weird accent Elba. But Ben said challenge. And they ended up ruling in Andreyko's favor, and they gave him the point. So it's been the whole thing.
This is my thing. My feeling about it is I would have ruled in Mark Andreyko's favor because he clearly knew the answer.
Yeah, that's what I say about these things.
There's a close enough where you're like, okay, yeah, you definitely know the correct answer. It's a fine line, to be sure. And especially, there was one time where I think Clark answered Reds 2, and the answer was Red 2, and like Reds is actually a movie, so
you can't. But there is no.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird gray area. But yeah, I mean,
But everybody laughs when JTE spells Geppetto wrong, but nobody says don't
or
give
like,
him the point.
you know what I mean? It's like when it's like even and this, you know, would have probably ended up having me lose the manager bowl a number of years ago, but when or it wasn't the manager bowl, it was the commissioner bowl, when Tom answered, you know, David Ayers instead of David Ayer. You know, that's another gray area for me. I probably would have said, I think he knows the answer.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think there just
Gavin
needs
O'Connor.
there just needs to be consistency as far as I'm concerned. It's like either you are a stickler about spelling or you're not. And then again, a short E vowel sound and a short A vowel sound can sound kind of the same.
That's what I think we should be more lenient with vowels than consonants.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, we should be more lenient with vowels than consonants because a lot of vowel sounds can sound very similar. It's funny. My friend Robbie, his little girl, she's like 2, coming up on 2. She can't say 2 short vowel sounds together very well.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a hard time saying Emma because it's 2 short vowel sounds. So she calls me.
What does she say?
Ema or Emmy.
Emmy's really cute.
It's very cute. It's very cute.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Garth McMurray in here says, so it's another Schmodown thing. Emma, you've been great in the Schmodown as a player, manager, announcer at the desk.
Thank you.
After match interviewer, commissioner, Patreon runner, etc. Plus you do Screen Junkies, RPG games, and your own gaming live on Twitch and so much more. Wow, Garth, I love you recapping all that. Have you ever considered taking a break and disappearing to some little tropical island for a month or more?
Oh man, I've definitely thought about it. There are times where I feel a little. I've never felt like fully burnt out, I don't think, but I've definitely gotten to a point a few times where I feel very tired. For me,
how could you not?
Yeah, for me, I just always have to kind of refocus, and it's interesting. There are a certain small percentage of people, about 20%, they estimate. I read this really great article the other day. This is where I'm getting this information from. That there's about 20% of people who suffer from some level of depression and anxiety, who have been to therapy and gotten, you know, treatment for it, essentially. Who, for them, this quarantine situation has actually made their anxiety and depression lessen. Like it's gotten better. Yes. And
what did they attribute that to?
So I know what I attribute it to for myself, because I count myself amongst this percentage. And for me, what it is that there's this much bigger problem going on. So all of these little things that used to stress me out, I kind of went, well, those things don't matter.
Interesting.
And so it cleared up a lot of noise in my head, and created space for me to just focus on myself, because I wasn't in a situation of being like, oh, every single one of my colleagues is out there and they're working and they're booking all these jobs and I'm just home doing nothing. I'm not doing enough.
I could see that.
You know what I mean? So it's like with the possibility of booking all of these, frankly, imaginary jobs gone, I suddenly am in this place where I'm working on projects that are just for me, and it's giving me this really nice sense of stability and accomplishment.
I want to be there mentally.
Yeah.
I want to be there mentally.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, I want to be part of that 20%. Because it definitely, I do think that this has put a lot of things in perspective, but I haven't gotten to as a person who has struggled with depression my entire life, this is definitely making it worse, not better. And I think part of the reason is because I'm quarantined alone.
Sure.
Which is very, very isolating.
Yes.
With no pets or no people, it's like just that's one of the reasons I do the show every day. There's actually some dickhead who commented, sorry, that's mean, a not nice person who commented on my stream yesterday, and I was reading the comments afterwards, and he was like, I can't even keep up with the amount of shows you're doing. You might want to think about slowing it down. And I wrote back being like, contrary to your belief, you're not the only person watching, and actually like this really helps me,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
also hopefully my people.
Yes.
And he was like, he called me a bitch and was
Great.
like, I just unsubscribed, you bitch.
Wow.
Like something, it was very aggressive, and was just like, and they're not your people. And it's like, I didn't
Yes.
mean my people like
No.
I own them. I meant
No,
my
you
people like
meant
they're my peeps.
yeah, you meant your community, which is exactly why it is so important to keep doing things like this right now,
Yeah.
as it provides people. I mean, in my Twitch community, and Uberbaldi is his username on Twitch and Twitter, everywhere. So Uberbaldi is he's been a longtime member of the Hyper RPG community, which was my first exposure to Twitch when I was streaming live tabletop RPGs for them. And he stops in my stream every single day. He works at CBS in like broadcast. So because they are still broadcasting, he does go into work every day.
Oh wow. Essential.
And yeah. And he actually just got a promotion and a raise.
Oh my God.
Which is so exciting. But he was able to like come in the Twitch chat and tell us about that. And also CBS right now is providing catering for all of their employees every single day. For everybody that has to go in. Yes. And so Uberbaldi comes in and he gives us his catering updates. And that's like something that we look forward to as a community every single day.
I love that. I mean, yeah, for better or worse, people come in here and update me. People they love who are getting sick, or people they love who are getting better, or positive things that are happening, or negative things. Yeah. But I've said this a bajillion times, but I do this 100% as much for me as I do for other people.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I
don't think that I would be feeling as calm and happy as I am a good majority of the time. And don't get me wrong, I have moments where I'm like losing my mind, or I just like break down and cry. It comes and goes. But a big part of the reason why I'm feeling as sort of sane and stable as I am right now is because I started streaming on my Twitch channel and I created a routine for myself.
Yeah, it's really important. It really is. Yeah. I do want to ask some more questions coming in from the Patreon. Alias says, of all the amazing things that you do, Emma, do you have a favorite or something you want to do more of, or is there something new you really want to try out? Cool question.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, still my favorite job I ever had was being part of Pencils and Parsecs, which was a Star Wars tabletop role-playing game that I did at Hyper RPG from 2017 through most of 2018. We did it for almost 2 years. And it was so rewarding. And I feel like it tapped into all of the things that I enjoy about having a career as an entertainer, because it was acting, it was improv, it was hosting, it was all of it. It was writing, it was storytelling. I mean, we're tabletop role-playing games are collectively telling a story. So it was so cool to just be Kilara, the character I played, and to make all of her decisions for her, but also be faced with stuff that was happening in the world around her. And I feel like I got to deal with a lot of my own personal shit through her. It was such a rewarding experience, and to have other people watch the show and care about these characters as much as we as a cast did. Like Joe Starr was on it as well. It
loved it as much as you do too.
Yeah, Joe definitely loved it as much as I did. And like to see people create fan art of your character, it was so cool. So cool. Yeah.
I want to do an RPG.
I know we gotta get you in one, girl.
I got to do it.
I'll teach you.
Speaks my language. It's literally exactly what I want to do.
You would love it.
I love that part of the brain. So that's what I want to do it. So I'm glad you reminded me. I will. It's something I will do. I will do it. I want to jump around some Streamlabs coming in.
Great.
Ben Rayner says, "Hey Roxy, hope you're doing well from your fans at Media Sweaty Network. Thank you.
Nice.
Also, great guests you've been having now, including Emma. #excellent. But I have to ask when you're having the Flirtenflouse on. He was on SEN today, and he was great. Stay sweaty. I'm telling you, we're scheduling it. Another Streamlabs Trash Panda said, on the count of 3, yell the Flirtenflouse. 1, 2, 3. The Flirtenflouse. I'm not kidding you. Another Streamlabs from Morse Code Z. Hashtag the flirtin' flouse. Apparently, this is the thing now. But Morse the flirtin' flouse. But Morse Code also says, but seriously, I'm just happy to see you two chatting again. I do think in the first round, the board should just be to prevent cheating and ensure they know the answer in round 3 or sudden death. Accuracy should be more important. So
yeah, okay. I think
thing.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, it's like in later rounds, you don't have to write anything down.
Yeah, but what Christian has said, this is what Christian has said, and I think that this will end up being problematic, but obviously he's the boss. He has said that the judges, the people calling the match, get to have their own personalities. So they get to make the call.
Yeah.
So he's saying, like, some of the people on the table are going to be stricter than others, and it's based on them. Same way in sports, it's based on the referee's opinion. So maybe you have to kind of play to the people, and that's just one more element of strategy. And we'll see if that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, charisma. It goes a long way.
Baking cookies for people goes a long way. Go talk to Mark Ellis about strange bands from the 80s. Goes a long way. Lucas J. Shashak says, "Hey, Emma, this is J Light 1234.
Oh, J Light, what's up?
Any idea what the next game you're going to play after FF7 remake is? What's FF7?
Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's what I'm playing right now. It's been so amazing. I'm having so much fun. J-Light, so going forward, my thought is, because I really like to play JRPGs, I like to play big kind of story games. So my thought is, once we finish Final Fantasy VII Remake, we still have the rest of classic Final Fantasy VII on the table, but I might wait to stream that until we get a little closer to the release of the next part of the story in the remake. But I'm kind of thinking of going to a model of doing 2 different games per week and doing like 2 episodes of each. So it would be kind of like, this is a deep cut, but Korean dramas, that's the way they release Korean dramas. There's 2 episodes of a drama per week. So I kind of want to do that. And I want to do 1 contemporary game. So probably Persona 5 Royal. And then 1 classic title every week. I got to figure out a way to get FF Tactics streaming, because there was so much discourse about it on my Twitter, and Final Fantasy Tactics is amazing. So yeah, we'll figure out.
You sound so cool when you talk about gaming. I just want to sound like that.
Thank you. I'm very passionate about it. So
I know you are. I know. Well, it takes a passionate person to stream from 12 to 5.
I know, but I'm having so much fun.
I know. I get it. PC in here says, "We are your people, Roxy. Bunnies for all." As Casey says, hurt people. Still, screw that guy. Also, hi, Emma. We love you too.
Thank you.
That is true. Also, Larry Lee said these streams help a lot. I'm all alone.
Yeah.
Yo, I feel ya.
Yeah.
I feel ya.
And that's the thing, is like, yes, you are physically alone in your house, but you are not alone.
What is that song? I'm alone in my house.
Yes, I saw that. So it was going around. I think someone made a TikTok of it.
They did. Kelly McInerney, maybe it was the word.
Yeah, it was totally Kelly McInerney. Yes,
but it got pulled off of TikTok because she didn't check to see that the song was on there. Yeah, I saw that. See, we have all the same friends. We see all the same stuff. Mayra M in here. Oh, thank you for contributing this part of the conversation. She says, Emma, I feel you. I work at Disneyland and will be paid until April 19th, then get furloughed until further notice, which will allow me to apply to unemployment, but still keep my health insurance.
Yeah. So
but you aren't able to do that at Universal?
I guess that our union contract, our IATSE contract, it does not allow us to be furloughed. This is per like one of the other tour guides is, I think she's not the president right now. She's like vice president of our chapter, which is B192. And yeah, I guess that our contract is such that we can't be furloughed, but I don't quite understand all of the legalese of it. But the thing is, it's like, I am a part-time, I'm not even a part-time employee. I'm part-time, but I'm technically not casual, which is like the lowest level. I'm part-time, but I don't work enough hours anymore to keep my health insurance through Universal, because I only work there 2, maximum of 4 days a week.
What do you do for health insurance? You pay for it yourself?
I finance it independently. Yeah.
So do I, and it
Yeah.
sucks.
It totally sucks.
It's so expensive.
Totally sucks.
It
Yep.
totally sucks. I know that people
And
talk about this all the time, but it totally sucks.
It's horrible. Oh yeah. I mean, listen, a lot of our problems right now would be solved if we just had Medicare for all. But hey, what do I know?
Well, speaking of that, this isn't a question coming in, but I did say we'd talk about it on the stream today, because I saw this, and we don't have to. I don't know, Emma, your stance on talking politics on air. We don't have to get too political about it, but it's worth sharing that today Trump decided to halt funding to the WHO, the World Health Organization.
Yep.
We are in the middle of a global pandemic. I just want to say that again. Global pandemic, and now is the time in which he would like to halt the funding. He did, I think it was last week, say that it was on the table that he might, if they don't kind of like watch what they're saying.
And
then,
did you see the thing also the other day that he said, I think this was maybe 2 days ago, when he said something about how, we're going to look at other states, and if they're not behaving, we might just have to shut them down. I'm like, please try to shut California down. Good luck with that.
And then immediately China was like, excuse me, Mr. President Donald Trump, like, please don't do this. You're not just affecting your country, you're affecting the entire world.
Correct.
So don't.
It's
brutal.
Yes.
When I read that, I kind of thought it was an Onion article. Because
because it's so absurd,
crazy that like the president of the United States decides that during the time of coronavirus's global pandemic, he should halt funding to
the World Health Organization. That's a great plan. Great plan.
I just can't really believe it. I don't even really. It's like the reason I said I don't even know what I don't have specific thoughts on this. Like, I don't have a unique opinion on this. My only thought is, what the fuck? Like, what is it? I mean, it's a power play, right? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, he will do anything to divert attention from the fact that a lot of what's happening in the US right now is his fault. Because he will not take responsibility. And so if he takes funding away from the World Health Organization, then it's like, well, it's not the US's fault. Even though it is the US's fault. You're withdrawing funding.
How does that make sense? How does that make sense?
He just
I wish that I could honestly sit down with him and just say,
what is going on in your head?
I really want to know, because I listen, despite my better judgment, I listen to his press conferences almost every freaking day.
Yeah.
And I really just want, but he makes jokes and he's putting on a performance. I really want to one-on-one sit down with him. And obviously, and everybody wants to one-on-one sit down with the president of the United States, regardless of who it is. But I just want to be like, I want to understand.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened. Like, were you pissed? Was this on a whim? Did your advisors tell, like, how and who made this decision? And what are you hoping the outcome is?
No,
what are you hoping?
Definitely. I mean, and again, like what's going on right now is something that health experts have talked about for years, which is basically that, because here's just some hard lines about coronaviruses in general. You have had a coronavirus in your lifetime. Every single human being has had a coronavirus in their lifetime. Like SARS or MERS, this COVID-19 is a novel coronavirus, which just basically means that it is a unique disease within the coronavirus family that we do not have a way of curing at this point. So to blame any individual or country for it is just irresponsible.
Right.
If an outbreak was going to happen, it was going to happen, but it didn't need to happen at this level. And we're very fortunate in a lot of ways in the state of California that we started taking this seriously very quickly.
Because Gavin Newsom is a straight up boss.
Yep.
I love him so much. I love him. I have so many good things to say about him, but yes, I agree with you. I agree. And as seriously as we've taken it, when you don't have the support of your country,
Yeah.
there are things that you cannot do.
Yeah.
And that took us a little while to do,
Yes.
like the 200 million masks a month that Gavin Newsom was able to acquire. You know, it
Yep.
took a minute to figure
Yep.
out
Yep.
the states were all fighting with each other, which was like just ludicrous and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I again, sometimes I want to spend 4 hours on these topics,
I
but
know.
this one, I don't have anything other to say than I don't know how anyone could think this was a good idea. I don't know how anyone on the planet could be like, this is the time to halt funding to the WHO. This is the time.
I
I just don't get it.
I
So
don't know.
I guess we'll move back into
Yes.
Patreon questions.
As I say, every day, very grateful for
Yep.
for Governor Newsom.
So you have mentioned gaming, obviously, that you
Mm.
love gaming, but Matthew Gold says, "Hi Emma, do you play any mobile games? I'm addicted to Mortal Kombat X and Marvel Contest of Champions."
Yeah.
Are you mobile gaming at all?
I'm not super into mobile gaming, no. I was into Fire Emblem Heroes for a while, where you basically just go around and have little strategy battles and collect characters from Fire Emblems of yore. Yeah. So that's my answer.
I like this question also because I have similar questions for you about this. Because first of all, you look freaking amazing. But Donnie A says, "How intense are the Pure Bar workouts you do? You look exhausted in the Instagram stories you post afterwards. Like you have taken Pure Bar to the next level. And I mean, in the last year, I've just watched. Like you look so strong.
Yeah, I feel really strong.
You look so strong and incredible. But so how intense are the Pure Bar ones, and how are you doing it at home?"
So my Pure Bar studio has been super duper amazing. Pure Bar North Hollywood, shout out. They basically, as soon as this started going down, so it escalated quickly. It was the weekend before everything started getting locked down. And Brittany, our studio owner, said, technically we could fight this as a like private facility because all the facilities are privately owned.
Right.
She's like, but we're gonna do what the governor is advising. And so what she did was she immediately sort of co-opted a website that is for at-home learning, more like for college coursework, but turned it into an online learning tool for us, for our studio, so that we're able to continue to take classes from her. And it's great because her mom comes in with her half the time. And so like her mom is the model for a lot of things. And shout out to Barb. She keeps me going.
Can anybody do it, or you have to have previously
it's anybody that's a member of our studio, but Brittany will still allow people to sign up for new memberships. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool. I still got my March challenge, my 20 classes in 31 days in March.
Wow, dude,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so the workouts are very intense because you are creating your own resistance largely. I mean, at home, I'm not using weights at all. Like even in studio, weights are optional. So at home, I just decided.
You just have your mat?
Yeah, I just have a mat and I use an IKEA shelf in my room as a stand-in for the bar. Some of the things where normally you'd be sort of like leaning on the bar, you can just do against a wall, which is very painful and forces you to keep your back very flat. And the thing is like about Pure Bar is it's like a very sustainable kind of exercise because it is low impact. It's always low impact. So it's so much strength training. But and also endurance training because like you're just holding these like micro isolations for so long. Like I burn a ton of calories and my heart rate gets way up. But it's you just as you get to a point where you're like, oh cool, I'm getting this, I'm getting stronger, I feel good, and then you just like overcome another threshold because again you're creating resistance with your own body. So it's it never gets easier. But I love it.
Oh, you make me know that I need to start doing something more regularly. Yeah. I've been trying to do more yoga stuff.
Yeah, yoga's great.
And I just ordered this. I told you guys I was going to. I finally did. I ordered a elliptical that has no top. It's just a floor elliptical. So basically it's just this thing. It was like $150. It had pretty good reviews. I was like, okay, but it says it's loud. So, but I'm home. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted if it's any good.
Yeah.
Because I got to start doing a little more cardio. Going back into the Patreon, Stoned Fanboy says, "Hello there, y'all. My question for both you and Emma are: what do you think of the first look pictures of Denis Villeneuve? Wait, I never know how to say
Villeneuve.
it. Villeneuve. Okay.
Yeah, Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve's Dune, and the fact is getting split into, and the fact it's getting split into two parts. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Also, Emma, what pose would you make before getting frozen? He always asks in Carbonite if you had to get frozen. What
Before getting
pose you would
frozen in
make.
Carbonite.
Wish you all the best and stay safe out there. Okay, so the Dune's getting split into two films.
Yeah, so Dune Dune the book is two parts. So there's a part 1 and a part 2 in just the book Dune. So that makes total sense to me.
Okay.
My dad, I was talking with my dad about this the other day. I love Dune, and my whole family does. But my dad was like, I feel like in the movie though they're going to jump back and forth, and it's not just going to be as clean cut, kind of like the Greta Gerwig Little Women, where they jumped around in time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because there's a pretty major character who we don't really get into until part 2, who they haven't shown any photos of him. They haven't announced who's playing him. So, there's that. The Dune pictures are amazing. On my Discord, we have a thirsting channel where we just post pictures of hot people. A lot of them, a lot of them animated, video game characters, real people. It doesn't matter. And the entire thirsting channel is just full of all of the screenshots from Dune so far. So
that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
You got to do something to keep your mind occupied during this time.
Yeah.
What about your pose in Carbonite? What do you think?
My pose, if I had to be.
This is what they always make fun of me because mine is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like mine would be like.
You got to look happy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to for the rest of your life.
Still spread joy. Yeah, you don't want to be like Han Solo, like.
But it does depend what happened, because if I'm not trying to be in there and you're keeping me there for a long time, it's definitely the middle finger. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Glenn Caesar says, Emma, what's your favorite video game series or single game of all time? And who's your favorite character, either your favorite series game or from any series?
You got it. Okay, so it's a hard call for me for favorite video game of all time, because there's so many different genres within gaming. I mean, obviously I have so much love for Final Fantasy VII. This Final Fantasy VII remake is like a complete dream for me. It's so amazing just to see these characters that I knew and loved that were just used to be these little like pixelated spiky looking sprites on pre-rendered backgrounds in these fully realized environments has been really amazing. So I would say Final Fantasy VII, though I also do really have a lot of love for Final Fantasy Tactics, because I think Final Fantasy Tactics has a really, really amazing story. But I also love Triarts and Enix back in the day before they merged with Square. Had a game called Valkyrie Profile, which I really love because I love Norse mythology.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's so good. Because you're like playing as a Valkyrie. So you're going around collecting the souls of deceased to become Einherjar and serve Asgard in the upcoming war. It's really good. But
what about character?
My favorite character, though, this you would know if you've listened to Nerd Goat, because I did a whole episode about it, which is shout out to Ed Greer. I miss him very much. I know. I texted him the other day and I was like, I miss you, dude. So yeah, it's Tifa Lockhart, who is the main heroine in Final Fantasy VII. I just really love that character so much. And I mean, my God. So her English voice, and again, like I'm somebody that normally would probably play the game in Japanese with subtitles because it is an option. And that's just because the Japanese voices have been the same since they started adding on to the lore of Final Fantasy VII back in 2005 with Advent Children, which was a movie that's like a sequel to the game. because in the original game, there was no voiceover. It was 1997. It wasn't that typical to have voiceover, especially in a game of that size. But now, everybody, now it's fully voiced over. Every single line of dialogue is spoken, by somebody who's recorded VO for it. And Britt Baron, who is Justine on Glow, is the voice of Tifa, and I
love her,
and she's so good. Like, really? She just gets the character in a really beautiful way. And yeah, I really love it.
The nerdiest of answers. I love that. Going to the Streamlabs, Lucas Shashak says, oh yeah, I forgot to mention hashtag the flirtin' flouse. Oh my God. It's crazy. Lloyd Nance just showing support. I appreciate that, Lloyd. And Garth Harkness McMurray. Emma, if you could get Roxy to play an RPG game with you and others live on Twitch, what type of RPG do you think would be best for her to start with? D&D, Star Wars, or another? And what type of character should she play? Fighter, healer, magic user, etc.?
I'm trying to think. I feel like, Roxy, you would really enjoy like a Tales from the Loop or a Kids on Bikes kind of RPG where you're basically playing like, like 80s archetypes, Amblin archetypes, cool. Living in a town. And I feel like Roxy would be, I think you would be like the sort of nerd archetype. I feel like you do a really good job being like the smart, friendly kid that just wants everyone to do the right thing.
That's how I feel right now. Do the right thing, guys. Okay, well, I'll have to take your word for it because I just do not know. Let's go into the super chat. Brandy, the amazing B. Lee says, Roxy, your stream brings me joy every day. I'm stressed because of my job. She works at a laundromat and people have been treating her like crap.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Ugh, awful. And watching your streams calms me when I get home. Love you, girly. I'll kick anyone's ass for you. LOL. Appreciate that. She is the frickin' best. So love you, Brandy. Emma, you froze a little bit. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you. Yeah. You were freezing a little on my end too.
No, why?
I don't know. It's probably my internet.
It could be me. Okay. You guys let us know who's freezing more. And if it's me, then I'll try to switch the internet. So the interwebs that are always giving me a really hard time. The frickin' internet.
Yeah.
I can hear it glitching and doing all of its glitchy things. Go into more in the super chat. Let's see. What? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, I can't even hear.
Oh, okay, no.
I'll try. Oh, what did it put up? Trump needs to go in November. Please, everyone vote.
Please vote.
Oh my goodness. It's all a glitch, guys. It's all a glitch. Let's see if I can get through some of these other ones. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. King Nirvana says, love watching your stream, Emma, especially Final Fantasy. Might buy the game later because need to save money. First, lucky I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 now.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Are you interested in playing Persona 5R? What's Persona 5R?
Yeah, Persona 5 Royal. We actually talked about it a little earlier. I think that after I finish Final Fantasy VII Remake that we will start doing some Persona 5 Royal.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Persona is also a long-running RPG series, much like Final Fantasy, where there are a ton of different titles in it, but they're not directly related to one another. They just have similar like character archetypes and gameplay elements, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah.
All right. I am.
Oh no. All right. What's up, everybody? I think I'm still live, even though Roxy disappeared. Did I ever play? I'm just going to talk to the chat for a little while since, hey, it's suddenly the Emma show. Did I ever play Guild Wars? Descendants fan asks. No, I have not. played Guild Wars, but I feel like that's in line with the kind of games that I like, probably.
Emma, I left you alone in my stream.
That's okay. I talked to you in chat. It was fine.
How, guys? How? Well, hopefully it's better. I tried to switch up the internet thing. Hopefully you guys can hear me more. We'll keep on going. Emma, you're the freaking best. Mayra M says the Matrix needs to be reset. It's glitching.
I know.
I've never seen the Matrix. Maybe that's why it's doing that.
Oh, it's the Matrix retaliating against you.
They're fighting. They're raging against the machine. I'm the machine. Samir Tesfai says, "Hey Emma, that Dune picture of Jason Momoa in the fighting stance. Did you immediately imagine he was holding a lightsaber? Because I did. Momoa in future Star Wars.
Yeah,
films,
it's really great. I can totally see, like, because he's like sort of hunched. It's sort of like he's like down and he's got his arm back, and so the character that he plays is like the master at arms, basically. I
know nothing about Dune. I know nothing about it.
It's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I need to
I would love to see Momoa in a Star Wars, though. Like, heck yeah.
I would love to see Momoa in or out of anything. Just saying. Johanna said, I know you don't love getting political, but I respect both of your opinions. So here goes. Why do you think it is the cis straight men who play trans roles get so much awards love and those same women can't get a job? So I don't dislike getting political. Just to be clear, I get political on every single stream and any show that will let me. I mean, the question, why do I think that? I think because the people who are voting are typically cis straight men.
Well, I mean, yes. And
what do you think?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. And also, I mean, that's exactly what it is these people, they are applauding and lauding those who have done something where they still are able to see themselves represented, because that has been the status quo for so long, is that it's cis straight white men are in charge, and so their monkey brains make them hire people that look like them, and make them impressed with people who they feel like, oh, that man is like me, but I couldn't do the job that he did, so he must be doing a really good job.
And they claim that it's just easier, we'll make more money. I mean, they justify it however they want. It's disgusting, but that's the answer, I think, to why. Good question, though. And I always appreciate you being here. You ask a ton of different LGBTQ plus questions that I think are super valuable. And again, I know that it is political, but I don't even deem that to be political. It's a human right.
No, it's the human right, and it's also just, it's part of a bigger conversation, which is the idea that in order for us to like fully have like representation, it's about people getting equal consideration. And the fact of the matter is, right now it might feel like, oh, if we're giving all of these jobs to women of color, people of color in general, that, you know, we're favoring them, but we're not favoring them. We're just finally starting to give them equal consideration. It feels like favoring them because we're so used to not seeing that much representation.
It's so crazy because it's still such a small percentage of roles.
I know.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy. Going back into the chat, Farah Mathana, too much awesomeness, system overload. Totally. Emma held it down like a champ, though. Speaking of which, Brandy says, Emma is the friggin' best. Just had to add that. Much love to you. She totally is. Also, Joshua Riddle says, SEN today was a steak and shrimp dinner. You two are the delicious fine cheesecake dessert after. Tastes just as great and far easier on the eyes. The flouse is quite sexy, though.
Oh my God, there it is again.
We won't stop with the flouse. You know, I will say it's kind of rude that you said the cheesecake dessert, because we all know that I hate cheese, but you know, just being dessert in general, I'll take it. I will be dessert if you guys say so. I like dessert better than the meal anyway. Going into the Streamlabs, Glenn Caesar says, hey, Roxy and Emma, happy Wednesday. Emma, it's Starborn779 on Twitch. I don't know. Starborn779.
I know Starborn. Yeah.
Thanks for joining Roxy and virtually hanging out with all of us today. This is a super fun show. Love you both. Keep crushing it, you two, on YouTube and on Twitch. Hashtag Rockstarsband. Hashtag the Golden Mike. Is that your thing, Golden Mike?
Golden Mike, that was my Schmodown nickname.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Pretty perfect.
Thank you, Starburn. I appreciate that.
That seems exactly like what you should be. Before we do get out of here, I did want to talk a little bit about the virtual meetings that are being taken. I don't know if you saw anything about this, Emma, for the MCU, but apparently John Krasinski has been taking a bunch of virtual meetings.
I've been seeing some buzz about this, yes.
About joining the MCU. There hasn't been like anything really going on in terms of hearing for what, how, who. But I guess Kevin Feige is a big fan of his. He's a big fan of Kevin Feige's. So, and it does seem like John Krasinski tonally just fits the MCU. He seems like an MCU kind of guy.
He does. I mean, he's got a little bit of a Paul Rudd vibe about him, and also a little bit of a Chris Evans vibe about him. Yeah, I mean, he fits in, I think, with the type of actor that is currently in the MCU.
But it's kind of hard to say because I was thinking about it and it's like, I don't know what the MCU is going to look like.
Yeah,
we don't know what moving forward. And also when I think of John Krasinski, I still think of silly, goofy office John Krasinski, but really he's also like ripped, hot, Quiet Place John Krasinski.
Yeah, and Jack Reacher.
And Jack Reacher, totally. Yeah. So I wonder, what would you want to see if he was going MCU? Is there like a tone you would want to see? Would you want him to be good guy, bad guy?
Well, I mean, you know, the big conversation that everyone has been having and that I'm certainly not opposed to would be a Fantastic Four wherein he is Mr. Fantastic and his actual real life wife, Emily Blunt, is Sue Storm.
It would be pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you see something everywhere and you want to be like, oh, I'm going to be different. But
I know,
that's clearly the answer.
Like,
yeah. I think that she is one of the best action stars of our time.
Oh, Emily Blunt's amazing.
She's so incredible. So that combo would be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is actually happening, or do you think these meetings could just be generals and like they're just getting to know each other?
I genuinely don't know. It's such a weird, uncertain time, but at the same time, you know, yesterday we got confirmation that Sam Raimi definitely is taking over directing Doctor Strange. So
strange. So strange. Pun intended.
Yep.
And also, I don't know how you feel, but I don't really trust any news that comes out during this time. Like, I don't trust any of it to stick because if it depends on how long we're in this, but like everybody's schedule is going to change.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you know who's going to be working on what when we don't even know when those things are going to be worked on?
Correct. Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
And especially for something like the MCU where every movie is contingent on a movie before it, that we're not going to know when things
They're not going to be able to move forward with a lot of the MCU's stuff for quite some time because they already have this backlog of projects.
Yeah.
By virtue of the way the MCU works, and I think it's one of the things that people really enjoy about it, is they're all of the existing content informs the content that comes after it. So
yeah, completely. I know we are getting out of here. A couple more super chats. NFL Caleb, shout out to you, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Faraz Muthana, long live the Fyffe Club. Have a nice day, ladies. I'm going to sleep. By the way, Krasinski as Reed Richards.
Nice.
Great call. And also going to sleep. What time is it for you?
Yeah.
People have weird hours during quarantine.
Might be the UK.
Yeah, that's true. Brandy says, shout out to the person that kept walking behind Emma.
Yes,
LL.
That's my roommate. People on my Twitch stream know. Yes.
I mean, there's the email thread that you and I are on about doing something with Brienne. I don't know if it's been talked about yet, but remember your initial email was like, I've already monopolized too much of the
living room
time.
Yes, I'm moving my studio upstairs. Because again, like I set up down here originally being like, oh, this is going to be a couple weeks. And I was like, no, this is going to be It's gonna be a while. So I'm just waiting on my new router to come in so I can boost my Wi-Fi so it's better upstairs.
Apparently, I need to do the same thing. But something I actually have liked about this time is being able to see that little window into, people's lives. Like,
well, yeah, it's kind of like going around on the internet, people saying things like, "Oh, don't apologize about your cats or your children or your dogs or your birds showing up in your Zoom meetings. Everyone wants to see them."
Yeah, and honestly, we do. And the only thing that annoys me is when we see these celebrity parents now being like, "Oh, I have to actually take care of my kids now. It's very challenging." And it's like,
welcome to real life. Like
Kim Kardashian was like, I'm hiding in my guest room. My kids will not leave me alone. Leave me alone. And it was pretty incredible. Rockin' movies with Tyler. Hey, Emma, glad to see you as always. When will there be another Fife Club stream, if any at all? I hope you appreciate my recommendations via Patreon.
Yes, our plan is assuming that everything works out with my new internet setup and setting things up upstairs this weekend. I should have my new router on Friday and be able to start streaming stuff from my upstairs studio in my bedroom starting on this weekend. So if all goes according to plan, we should be back Sunday evening around 6:30 p.m.
How did you get them to come out to you? I can't get them to get me a router.
Oh, my dad is a programmer, and so he just got me what I needed, and I know how to set it up myself. So
I might need to.
I'm pretty tech savvy. Yeah. If you want to call me, I can talk you through it.
I am pretty the opposite of tech savvy, whatever that is. They make fun of me and call me the tech wizard here because I am just not. Emma, I know we have to let you go and we got to get off, but thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rox.
Again, all the places, all the things you're working on, everything you're doing.
So you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Emma Fyffe. I am live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from about noon until 3 or so. That's Pacific time, obviously, because I live in Los Angeles. Also on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. in the UK, I do a show with Claire Lim, who you might know from Collider Heroes. Her appearances on that show, and she also did Movie Talk a couple of times. She's wonderful. She's We Claire here all over social media. We do a show every Saturday morning over on her Twitch channel, twitch.tv/We Claire called The Good News Show, where we just talk about good news from the week.
We need that during this time.
Yep.
We need this.
Yep. I do a segment on there called Living Your Best Fyffe, where I cover a human or animal interest story. And it's really...
I love that.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. It makes me so happy. We fill an hour just like no problem. And we're not ignoring the bad things that are happening in the world. We're just trying to shine a light on the good stuff. So yeah, that's
definite. Yeah, that's definite watch from me.
Yeah, that's Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then also, do keep an eye on my Twitter because I know I have something else starting very soon, but it hasn't been announced yet. So get excited.
I like that tease. It's a really good one. I also, guys, I'm here every day, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Just a reminder, tomorrow, John Roca is coming on. So we'll have some outlaw talks for sure, which I'm very excited about. And then a couple other great guests coming up. Trisha Hirschberger, Lauren Brasso.
Sweet. I love Trisha.
Yeah, I love Trisha too. Kristen Harloff's coming on next week. Sean Whalen, bunch of people. Yell Teagle's coming on the week after that.
Yay.
So a ton of people coming up. And I will announce right now that I did officially put out an ask for my 420 guest. We are going to do quite the stoner show that day. You guys know I have not been consuming cannabis this entire time because I've been worried about lowering my immune system, but I'm going to give myself the day on 420 to do my thing. And Andrew Guy is going to be here doing it.
Nice.
So
That's
very
awesome.
excited about that. Everybody, you guys know what we do at the end of the show. So we all feel connected. Round of applause for Emma Fyffe being here today.
Thank you
Emma,
everybody.
you're awesome.
Showing up.
right as I see my internet is going. This is perfect timing. Thank you guys all for watching. Stay safe. You guys know the deal. Don't touch your face, wash your hands, all that stuff. But more importantly, try to do something today that makes you feel happy, whatever it takes. Just get through the day. Emma, you are freaking amazing. I love you. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow live at the Roxy.